Hello guys, I'm back with another video. So this is my review of SSC CHSL examination which happened on my shift that was on 25 November shift 2. So I'm going to share the review of that. I would say that the exam happened a bit well as compared to the CGL. There were no system failures or errors. So on that part I would say that it was better. And if I talk about the review from the subject point of view, let's start from the reasoning part. So I would say that reasoning part had been very equivalent to what the previous shifts and what we have seen in the CGL. Only thing I would say that this shift was a bit lengthier. The reasoning part was that logics were a bit difficult to be find, and I would say that two questions were there from that address part, and that was also very difficult to spot in the exam moment. So I would say that all the topics are previous based, but some questions are a bit lengthier. So this is my overall analysis as far as reasoning is concerned. Reasoning is overall easy but a bit lengthier. So now talking about my review of the GK part, I would say that GK part was a bit tougher because I have written the topics that have came, but the topics were not very direct. Like if sports is thing is asked, so it has been asked in very detail that when a particular sport has started. So actually, we students don't indulge that much of a detail. So I would say that sports portion are coming in details. Yes, there are easier parts as well. Like there was one question from appointments, and there are schemes, and two books related questions also came. Festivals related and even dance related also came, but these are some random facts. Like the festivals and dance that are coming randomly, they are not very common. Even two questions were asked from history part, like travelers and these things. Science was also present from biology, specifically heart chapter, and further there were questions from UNSC. So I would say that GK portion was a bit tougher, and detailed study is what is required for this examination. I would suggest that focus more on schemes, appointments, sports, so as these topics are coming very handy, and even festivals and dances. Now talking about my review as far as English was concerned, so English mainly comprises of the vocab part basically. Like two questions were asked from the one word substitution, few questions were asked from homonyms, spelling error were also there, sino and tos were there, and mostly they were previous based, so one would not face any difficulty doing them. And moreover I would say that the most portion, actually I have written it wrongly, like it was not vocab but it was voice and narration. So 6 and 7 question came from voice and narration. Even the passage part also contained voice and narration questions, so it was a mixed form. And it was also mixed in that aspect as well, that questions were also from the previously that the SSC would ask of voice narration and the new type as well. So it was a bit difficult also, and it was easier at the same time. Fewer questions were also clause based vocab, and vocabs were a bit difficult. Some were difficult and some were mostly it was previously based. So I would say that English portion was mostly moderate plus. No PQRS were asked, no clause tests were there. Now talking about the mathematics part was easier. So no anything was not there that couldn't be done, but it was a lengthier part. So doing maths was a bit lengthier because questions were very means, like if I take the example of CI, 4 years of compound interest were asked. So in that respect questions were lengthier, and even the answers were in point fractions, and we cannot do it with the unit digit method, so proper calculation was needed. And you can actually see what topics were asked: CI, prism, ratio, mixture allocation, 2 3 questions, and profit and loss, discount, mensuration. There was one question from irrational numbers as well, and where there was one question of circular race as well. So these are some of the questions that I could remember from the maths part. I would say the maths part was easier but a lengthier, so completing it in that time was a bit challenging. So overall I would say that the paper was moderate, and overall the paper was moderate. So if you all could remember further question, you could share it in the comment section so that all can get helpful. Thank you for this video.